This video will contain heavy spoilers. Viewer discretion is advised. What is the meaning of the horse at the beginning of Note? Jordan Peele integrates poignant social commentary into his films regarding racism and class inequality. His lived experiences help create horror that sometimes feels a little too real. One thing I love in Peele's works is his subtle use of imagery. Chris puts on a mask of whiteness, foreshadowing the enslavement he escapes from in Get Out. Red uses scissors to embody duality in Us, highlighting the tethered experience versus somebody who lives above ground. What piece of imagery is consistent in these three movies? The answer is horses, but the real question is why. What relevance do equines have in these films? They can symbolize freedom, the conquering of evil, or exploitation. Every one of these themes can be found in Nope depending on where we look. OJ and Emerald free themselves from Hollywood's death grip. They conquer evil by leaving the idea of fame and fortune behind. Although exploitation as a concept, I'd argue is the most relevant to the film. Black people face heavy levels of racism, which manifest in many forms. During the times of slavery, they were treated as subhuman, forced to work against their will in horrendous conditions. Many working animals were treated better than slaves. Slave traders would often refer to black men using horse terminology. A few scenes in Nope demonstrate horses' value to the narrative.
Of Hollywood and the film industry itself, and the exploitation that is kind of inherent in this industry and always has been.
When a key gets lodged in one, Peele is using physical imagery to show us the answer. We need to be aware of our collective history to end the cycle of violence. But one scene will be the focus of today's video. Emerald and OJ go to a Hollywood studio to showcase their horses. Bright lights, massive cameras, and the amount of people are overstimulating. Once Lucky sees his reflection, he reflexively kicks out of fear. What is the significance of this interaction? What if the Hollywood scene is a microcosm of the whole film? A hardworking family dedicates their entire life to raising these animals, only to be cast aside. After realizing they are being used in the pursuit of greed, they fight back by abstaining from the system. Lucky deserves his name. Without his reaction, the Haywood family could have found out the true meaning of a bad miracle. So today, I want to break down the horse symbolism in the movie. Also how this film can teach us to be more empathetic towards others' experiences. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you always see my latest content. Nope expertly deconstructs the malicious underbelly of Hollywood. Everything seems glamorous, but something evil lurks in the shadows. Everyone wants their dream to come true without realizing how they harm others. Take for example Ricky. He was traumatized by a monkey named Gordo during a TV shoot. Hollywood sucked him in and spit him out. After being tossed from the limelight, he uses his trauma as leverage. He partakes in the same corrupt system that destroyed his mental health, using his pain as a means to make money by exploiting people's deepest desires. Or how about Antlers? They beg for his help, but he only offers assistance when he has something to gain. Even Otis was willing to put down his horses due to financial struggle. Rather than treat those around them with kindness, these characters act in a purely greedy manner. Having a live monkey on set can get more views, but it's important to be careful what you wish for. Speaking of sets, let's analyze the scene we discussed earlier. The Haywood family dedicates everything to their trade. In terms of knowledge, they know far more than the staff, but the crew leads them around. Jordan Peele often talks about how his goal is to cultivate empathy. We can all empathize with the Haywood family's struggles, although we rarely extend this level of consideration toward animals. If horses are the key, maybe they are worthy of conscientiousness. How about we try to understand the film set from the perspective of a horse? I know the idea sounds weird, but I promise the imagery makes so much sense using this framing. Off in the distance, ultra-bright lights make us feel uneasy. Indistinguishable sounds of screaming echo throughout the land. A giant lens in the sky looms over us, constantly waiting. As the eye in the cloud closes in, we have to take a hard look in the mirror. When we see our reflection, in a way, we come to terms with the choices we made in life. Mirrors are cold and callous, just like the lens of a camera. But what if OJ's plight is embodied in the horse to some extent? What else could the scene symbolize? Maybe Lucky's fear of his own reflection demonstrates the Haywood family's growing level of self-awareness. With all these ideas in mind, let's see if we can build a cohesive theory. Lucky is a horse worthy of the big screen. The Haywoods work tirelessly to cultivate their talents for a big break. Hollywood exploits a family-owned black business for personal gain. Rather than hear out their insights, the execs try to hyper-control the environment. These people don't care about the Haywoods or Lucky. They are ravenously searching for their next Gordo, an animal they can market as a TV star for the ratings. This imagery highlights the exploitation that's salient across media. So many marginalized communities face heightened levels of discrimination and dispensability. OJ and Emerald try everything they can to make it big, willing to do whatever it takes. Pointing a condemning finger at the main characters seems pretty obvious, but in doing this, aren't we perpetuating the system in a way? Look past our own engagement with media to condemn someone else. Isn't the state of Hollywood based on our own consumptive habits? Looking ourselves in the mirror can be a challenging process. Many people would rather turn a blind eye to abuse, keep their heads down while praying for their big break, completely disregarding the countless lives destroyed in the process. The antidote to this greed sickness is empathy. When we stop to realize our role in the harm, we can free ourselves. Accountability is the key to our salvation. When Lucky attacks the person, the Haywoods aren't aware of how this blessed animal is living up to his name. Luck truly was on their side, because we know the dark path they were headed down. As their fame would grow, so too would the emptiness in their hearts. In this way, horses are the key. Thanks for checking out my film breakdown. I really appreciate it. Nope is a powerful commentary on the harms that come from a callous pursuit for power. Monkey Paw Studios is an apt name for a filmmaking company. We all have hopes and dreams that are easy to exploit. Many of us turn a blind eye to the harms we perpetuate. Jordan Peele offers us a meaningful cure to the destructive nature of greed: to lead with love.